Hey, welcome everyone. This is Zozo Stockwatch, and we're going to get the webinar started very shortly. Just let everybody get settled into their seats. We gave kind of like the warning, so we'll give them another few seconds to get settled in. If you guys can hear me, let's just make sure. Okay. Okay, thanks. I got a yes on that. And if you can see the screen, let's make sure of that. And I got a yes for that. All right, so we'll get going here. Thank you so much. Good turnout for the webinar. And yes, this is being recorded. The site is zozostockwatch.com. It's a swing trading and day trading service, and we're going to get hit on a lot of different topics in this video. So and I should say in this webinar, and we also have educational services, and there's no extra charge for swing trading, day trading, or educational services. Everything is included. All right. I'm on the mic throughout the day. I'm teaching. I'm giving swing trades and day trading and day trading. All right. And this is all included. There's no like, okay, you want to join my swing trading service? Here, you pay this. If you want to join my day trading service, you pay that. All right. And education is pretty much, as I see fit and pretty much all day. All right. So just want to make that clear. The price is the price. And then I want to get into this a little bit. When I changed my mindset to trading is a business, not gambling, and treated it like a job, my trading improved drastically. I came out of the .com era, and that was probably the worst era to ever trade in because it was so easy back then. We had these big, huge computer monitors, and you would go in, you'd click, you'd buy Dell. Or actually you would call your broker and buy Dell or Intel or Microsoft, and you'd buy it in the morning, and then by the afternoon the stock will be up, 5, 6, sometimes even more dollars per share, and it wasn't really trading. It was just buying things willy-nilly because things just always went up. It was unbelievable. Well, that soon came to an end, as you all know, and then you were left with trying to actually trade. And while I did make good money in the .com, I also lost good money in the .com because easy come, easy go, right? No process, and keeping the money wasn't easy to do because what would happen is the stocks would move down, and you would jump in to buy them because you say, oh, the stock is down, $10, $15. It's a lot cheaper than it was. Let me buy it here, and then you would quickly find out that stocks can continue to go down. Well, we really didn't have charts and whatnot, and we didn't really know what support and resistance was. So, we learned the hard way, or I did too. And a lot of people, I guess, of that era learned that, it's not as easy as we think, and that the tide had turned. So I went back to work. I was in the restaurant business, and fortunately for me, I was working at night. So I was able to, watch the markets during the day and go into some, guys that would start up chat rooms, go into their rooms, learn about support, resistance, moving averages, and things like that. I remember getting e-signal, being in this, Pal Talk chat room, Pal Talk. And, there would be the guy, and he'd get on the mic, and then you would all buy what he said. And you wouldn't really know why is he buying it? Why is he, where he's putting his stop? He would just say, well, just throw a 20-cent stop at it. So it was completely different type of trading back then. Nobody really knew what they were doing. They didn't have any kind of process. It was just like, well, the stock is making new highs. Let's jump in here, and it'll keep pushing up. Well, that didn't happen. So, I had to eventually start reading. I read a lot of books on, technical analysis, and in reading those books, you start to develop a process. Then I would go into other chat rooms, try different chat rooms, and, pick up the lingo, the jargon, see what they were looking at, and then you try to develop it into your own style. So the other thing I used to do, and why I put this gambling here, is because I used to think I was smarter than the market, and I would buy, stocks into earnings thinking, I looked at the balance sheets and the financials, and I said, well, this one's going to beat on earnings, so let me buy it before the earnings, and it'll be a quick buck. Well, even if stocks would beat on earnings, they would still sometimes go down, and I couldn't for the life of me understand that. And I would say, well, this has got to bounce back. This is going to make a comeback. I'll just buy more here, and then I'll buy more here, right? And I would do that, and I would blow up, not only my, I wouldn't blow up my account, but I would reduce my capital down a lot. And so I found out that is more like gambling. It was better to have waited till after the stock, reported the earnings and then to try trading it, And so that's the problem with not having a process and treating this like gambling. You have to stay disciplined and focused in your trading, and you have to treat this like a job, and I'm telling you, your trading will improve drastically. So that's just a brief introduction, about me. I've been trading for a while, and we'll get more into that in a moment. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the next slide of the webinar and get ready for the ride. All right, so what services do I offer at ZozoStockWatch.com? Well, I have screen sharing with alerts, charts, and news. All right, the news is provided by at the Trade Exchange, and it's audio news right into the room. All right, it's 7+ hours of education and instructions. The only time we don't take any questions is from 9:30 till about 11 o'clock, and then after that the room is open for questions for the rest of the day. And even in the morning, I'll take questions if you put them in the room, and I try to answer them as to the best of my ability. And if I can't, because in the morning we're a little bit busy, I will write that question down and then get back to you in the 11 o'clock hour, and then we'll do maybe a lesson on it or something. So each day is lessons and education. Also, we give trading and real-time audio level watch alerts. Don't forget, you have to have a Twitter account so you can follow the private Twitter feed that I have, and we use that for the swing trades. All right, the swing trades I call them over the microphone, I type them in the room, and I also put them on the private Twitter feed. Now, the great thing about this private Twitter feed is you can connect your mobile phone to it, and you can put your mobile phone number in there and then allow mobile notifications from Zozo Stockwatch's private feed, and then you can get SMS messages. All right. So the other thing is we do daily market prep. We go through the SPY and charts that are moving, stocks that are moving that day, and look for day trades. We have live charting, technical analysis, live day trading and swing trading, live news and audio, like we said. It's a community of traders and investors, live and interactive chat room, and it's by Omnovi, okay? It's not a Discord room or anything like that. It is a real chat room with screen sharing. We do week ahead market discussion, day ahead prep. Also, you get first access to the videos and content. The room opens each day at 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time. So I start putting my screen share up at 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, and it remains open until 8 p.m. Eastern Time, except on Fridays. We shut it down at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're so inclined, you can come in, you can hear the audio news. The audio news usually starts after 7 a.m. About 7:15 a.m. is when our audio news starts, but the screen shares are up for the news. And then around 7:15, 7:20, the scans start populating for those stocks that are moving in the pre-market each morning. So you're more than welcome to join me at 6:15 a.m. and you can stay there all day up until 8 p.m. Like I said, Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday we do shut the room down at 7 p.m. All right, so that's what we offer, and then this is a little brief look at the room. All right, these are some of the trade idea scans that you're going to be seeing, and this is the room that you're going to be seeing, the news that gets put into the room, and then it's also audioed, okay? And then this is the screen share with some of the scans, some of the charts that you'll be seeing. So that gives you like a little example of some of the scans from trade ideas. And you can see these, and also what I do is I'll get on the mic and say, oh, this is getting volume, and I'll show you it on the chart that you see here. All right, so next screenshot is I was voted in 2015 2016 as one of the most helpful traders on Twitter. And so I just want you to know that I'm out here to help you, all right, and to make you a better trader. I'm on Twitter. I think I have over 22,000 followers on Twitter and 40,000 on StockTwits. And I don't say that to brag. I just say that because I think I've been a very helpful trader, and I always answer people's questions out there. And I think I'll be a big help to you in your trading too. This is me, my mugshot, all right, and this was an article that was done in by Trader Mentality, and there's the link for it, and we'll put that in the room for you if you want to read the article. But basically, my name is Mike DeRuzo. I got my nickname Zozo for Zozo Stockwatch from Zoe. I've been trading 20 years now. Momentum, swing and day trader. I was a contributor at the Trade Exchange. I was a moderator at some other chat room services that you may know. And on my handle on Twitter is Stockwatch, on StockTwits, Zozo Stockwatch on Twitter, and StockTwits. And I used to play football. My last name was DeRuzo, so they cut it down to Zoe, and that's basically how the name Zoe came about. And then I got the bug, and I was a chef, and worked in New York City at some nice restaurants, and you know, tried to do my day trading during the day. So this is a little brief thing that I put out here about my dad. When he passed away, it was sad. It turns out, you know, you find out a lot about a guy when he passes. Funny how that works. He did a lot of helpful things for folks, and that's what I want to do too. So in trading, I want to be the guy that helped a lot of folks. I love when I can show someone an indicator that may help them turn their ship around or be a part of a service that gives value to many. Something that that is respected and useful. And that's the main thing I want this service to be, something that's respected and useful. And as a trader, if they say I took the time or he took the time, that would be awesome. All right, so that's what I want to do for you. I want to take the time, help you out in your trading, make you a better trader, teach you the process so you don't have to go through the mental anguish that I went through. So that's what I'm offering you in my room. All right, next slide up. All right, so let's get into a little bit of trading, and let me get a sip of water. And games are won by the players who are focused on the field, not by those that are always looking to the scoreboard. So what does that mean for trading? That basically means don't be obsessed by your P&L during the day. All right, I see a lot of guys, they're constantly looking at their P&L and you know, how much, you know, if this trade is gonna tick up or tick down. Well, that's not the way to trade. You trade off the chart. You know your support resistance, you know your stop, and that's how you have to trade. You can't be focused on the P&L when you're in a trade. You have to be looking at the level 2, the charts, and have a mindset that, you know, either this is going to work if I takes out this certain level, and I want the reaction I want. I'm like a spoiled brat, okay? If say I tell you to buy a stock at, you know, $1.52, and the stock takes out that $1.52 level and it starts moving up to say $1.60 or so. All right, well, you should always be paying yourself. That's the first thing, especially when it's a day trade. The other thing is, let's say that stock pops, but then it starts to come back to you. You have to be defensive. So that's the other thing that you have to learn and be disciplined about. If the stock comes back at you, you either got to take a flat on the trade, or you can't lose more than a nickel to a dime on that trade, especially if it's your first trade for the day. So games are won by the players who are focused on the field. All right, when you know you're on that field, you have to focus on the action in front of you. Okay, you can't be, you know, answering the phone and doing something else and, you know, getting away. You have to be focused and in an area in your home where you have your full setup and attention on that computer and on the stock that you're trading. All right, have consistent green days. Don't focus on money, especially if you're a new trader. Money doesn't matter. It's the ability to build up the confidence and your skill set. All right, and that's definitely true if you're a new trader. If you're an experienced trader, you know, you still want to have consistent green days, And if you're not having consistent green days, we have to figure out why. All right, I think a lot of times experienced traders don't have consistent green days because they have a lot of more distractions. Okay, so you have to find a quiet place for your setup, for your computer setup, where you can just be focused and trading and concentrating on that. All right, so let's go through this and let's talk about this in the frame of a new trader. All right, now for a new trader, if you come in at say $25 to $50 per day and you have 3 out of 5 days or 4 out of 5 days green, you know what? You are doing a terrific job, especially if you're a new trader. Now, I would say I fall in between here, between $400 and $1,000 a day. My goal is anywhere in this area for each day. Depending on the day, depending on the flow of the market, this is pretty much where I come in between these two numbers. All right. So if you made 200 a day for 252 days, you'd make 50K. In this area, 100K. In this area, 250K, etc. 4,000 a day. I've never had a $4,000 day, so I want to make that pretty clear. All right. But the main thing I want you to see about this is, and yes, you're going to have losing days. Okay, there are going to be losing days. That can't be avoided. Even though you think you're taking the best trades, sometimes the market doesn't always cooperate. And like Mark Douglas says, anything can happen. All right, even if you're in the most, you think you're in the best setup you thought of, and you looked at the charts, you looked at the time of day. Mark Douglas always used to say in his book, anything can happen. So you always have to be prepared for that anything. All right, slow and steady consistency is the key. All right, but like I said, for new traders, if you're falling in this area $25 to $50 a day and you're making money 3 out of the 5 days in the beginning, I think you're doing a terrific job. All right, so I just want to make that very clear. You can't start out jumping in and making, $400 to $1,000 a day if you're a new trader, because you just don't have your confidence, you don't have the style that you want to trade yet, and that's going to take some time. But once you get it, then you can start moving up the ladder. All right, I do want new traders in my service. All right, the one thing that amazes me about the newcomers to trading, they choose to start with an area that instantly requires them to either trade more frequently or in greater size through leverage or margin. And I see people taking these offshore accounts and things like that, and they really shouldn't do that because they're inexperienced, and then they're getting all this type of margin, and a lot of them are wiping out their accounts. So, what I recommend to new traders is, yes, do a little bit of day trading. It's okay. Get your feet wet, and but you're going to have to abide by the PDT rule if you don't have enough money. And that's just the way it is. So you don't have to be day trading every day, but you could be doing some, swing trading, and that's fine too, because swing trading can build up your capital and help you build up that account. So eventually you can hit that 25,000. So then you won't be, hindered by the PDT rule. So this is why at Zozo Stock Watch I will have day trading and swing trading and even longer term trading. I think currently, we're in Schlumberger, and that one is a longer term trade for us. Shorting stocks is fine, okay, if you're an experienced trader, but a lot of new traders don't even understand the concept of shorting. So why are you putting that pressure on yourself in the beginning to do that? All right, the best strategy is the one you'll stick with. All right, you're going to try a lot of different strategies, and you see new traders trying so many different things that they forget to give that one thing that works, a chance and continue with it, because they're always looking for the next thing. And I say, don't do that. Stick with a couple of strategies, and you'll do much better. No amount of reading or paper trading will prepare you for how it truly feels in the heat of battle. And basically, when you have money on the line, it's a whole different ball game. All right, so you want to be out there trading. Even if you're trading 20 shares, 100 shares, it's better to trade live than to paper trade. Okay, you know, the main thing is here too, that I can't predict markets and neither can you. You always see new traders, hey, what do you think the market's going to do today, tomorrow, in an hour, 5 minutes from now? I can't predict that, and neither can you. You don't know what news is going to come out. You don't know all the time what's going to affect the market. So to predict the markets is very hard. We have to kind of react to the markets all the time. Even as a swing trader, you know, you have a brief idea what the markets are going to do, but you know, you can never be totally sure. That's why you don't go all in one swing trade. You know, you have a certain amount of shares that you buy to, you know, a percentage of your capital for each swing trade. All right, here's some tips from me for trading in general, whether it be swing trading or day trading. Have a max loss per trade. Have a max loss per day. Never turn a winning trade into a losing trade, all right? Never turn a winning trade into a losing trade. See so many traders that the stock moves up, especially in day trading, and they don't take the money off the table. They think it's going to go higher and they keep holding, or they get greedy and the stock comes right back at them. So if you have a winning trade, take some money off the table. Never turn a winning day into a losing day. So traders, what they do is they'll make money in the morning, they stick around the afternoon, and they'll give all that money that they made, and they'll give it back during the slower hours in the market. All right, if you do 1, 2, and 3, I bet you your trading results will improve. Okay, don't have a daily goal. The goal is to trade well. Do not look at your P&L. Trade on technicals and on the chart, and you'll do a lot better. All right, so for swing trading, because we are a swing trading service also, some questions to ask yourself. Which time frame are you trading off of? Most people trade off of like a 60-minute or a daily chart, but know your time frame, okay? Know how much you're risking on the trade, which markets you're trading, what are the conditions of your trading strategy? You know, are you trading during the right times of the day? Are you trading when the market is, say the SPY is below the 50 SMA? Are you taking on too many swing trades when the market is weak? So know the conditions of the market and how it affects your strategy. Where will you enter? Where will you exit if you're wrong? And that's probably the most important one. Where will you exit if you're wrong? You have to have an exit plan if the trade goes against you. And then where will you exit if you're right? Well, most people should just, if you get a pop in a swing trade, you should take some money off the table, pay yourself, and then you can slowly, you know, let the rest ride. But that's very important. You know, where will you exit if you're wrong? That's probably the most important one. You have to know, and you have to stick to your discipline as far as your stops. All right, and you want to place your stops at a point in swing trading that, if reached, will reasonably indicate that the trade is wrong, not at a point determined primarily by the maximum dollar amount. So you're not trading on the dollar amount. You're trading on an indicator on the chart or a support and resistance area on the chart. And if that area is broken, you'll say, okay, well, I need to get out. My thought process on this trade was wrong, and I'm going to get out now. All right, so you need to understand that you're not just basing it on a dollar amount. You're basing it on something that you see on the chart, whether it be the bottom of a candle, support and resistance, a moving average, something like that. All right, so that's very important for swing trading. Some traders, right? For disciplined traders, you have to trade a defined plan, trade based on, and emotional traders trade based on emotions. All right. So disciplined traders are planned. They manage risk. They exit a trade when wrong. All right. You do some homework. Right. You're prepared each morning. Not one trade means that much. When you're, emotional trader, you're probably playing too big of a share size. You're white knuckling trades. Your entry is based on greed, or fear of missing out. FOMO. They believe, you believe that you're not wrong, you can never be wrong, you blame someone else for your losing trades. So these are some things that emotional traders do. You over celebrate when you win. You get so depressed over losses. Remember, small losses you never remember, large losses you never forget. All right, so that's just some, keys between a disciplined trader and an emotional trader. All right, so a trader who has a good chance of failure. You're undercapitalized for day trading, you lack discipline, you overtrade, does not understand the market, rushes into trades, chases stocks, is afraid to miss a move, is stubborn and marries a position or idea, is always looking for home runs, lets losers get too big, takes trading too lightly, has little control of emotion, plays poor position size or too big position size. A trader who has a chance of success is properly capitalized, treats trading like a business, has a low tolerance for risk, trades only when the market provides an opportunity, can control emotions, has a plan, has risk management, is disciplined, is focused, proper position size. All right, and that's for a trader who has a chance of success. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of my charts. This is my 5-minute chart, and on my charts I keep the 8 EMA, the 20 EMA, a 60 EMA, and I'll get back to that in a moment, a 200 EMA, a 200 SMA, and VWAP and pivot points. All right, and this is a 5-minute chart you're looking at, and you say to yourself, what the hell is a 60 EMA? Well, a 60 EMA is equal to the 20 EMA on a 15-minute chart. So basically, I can see the 20 EMA on my 5-minute charts, and you get a lot of support and resistance at the 60 EMA. Here's Apple coming down to the 60 EMA on this 5-minute chart and then bouncing up off of it. All right, so the 60 EMA is just the equivalent of the 20 EMA on the 15-minute chart. VWAP, if you want to see a video on VWAP, you go to my YouTube channel. I'll give you that information in a moment, and you can watch the videos I made on VWAP. Pivot points I find are the closest things to Fibonacci without having to draw Fibonacci lines all over my charts. I just use pivot points provided by TC2000 charts, and you don't have to use TC2000 charts. You can use whatever charts you like, whatever charts you're comfortable with. I just happen to like TC2000 charts. All right, so this is the 5-minute charts that I use, and that's the moving averages and what I use on my 5-minute charts. All right, and here's my YouTube channel. If you go Zozo Stock Watch at YouTube, it'll bring up all the different videos, and there is a video in here about VWAP and all different types of videos. So you can check that out at Zozo Stock Watch, and that's the YouTube channel. All right, so I want to talk about some trades we did this week that passed. We did an entry on CUR over $1.46. This is a 2-minute chart you're looking at. And you see we got in here, right? We had the pullback. We got in here, and we got a nice pop up to $1.80. Now, all my calls are mic alerted, and I typed them in the room as far as the entry and the stop, and they're provided in the room prior to the trigger, and I want to make that very clear. My calls are alerted prior to the trigger. I don't get back on there and say, hey guys, I'm in this CUR at $1.36, and then you guys jump in and buy it. No, I tell you when I'm going to buy it, and usually there's plenty of time for you to get in. And this example of CUR gave us a beautiful pop all the way up to $1.80, so that was a very nice trade, and this was a day trade. And the next one up was the CYCC, and this was in the afternoon actually, and we got a nice trade in this one over 203, and the stock went up to, well, this was after hours, it went up to about $2.25. So this was a very nice afternoon trade that was called over the microphone, typed into the room, and traders did very well on this CYCC. That was just the other day. All right, some swing trades that I called. Here's SQ, and we call this one over 2630, and It was trading currently at around $28.75, $29. And this was a swing trade, and all the swing trades are called, excuse me, on the microphone. They're typed in the room, and then they're also put on the private feed. And like I said, then they can also go to your SMS messages if you set that up in your Twitter, for your Twitter handle. Okay, so this was SQ, and a beautiful run up on this swing trade here. Another swing trade we did, and I talked about a little bit earlier, was Schlumberger. We got in this one at 64.05, and a lot of people are still in this one, and it's trading currently around 68.80. So what's that? A $4 and change move on Schlumberger, and some folks are going to hold some of this for the long term. And so Schlumberger was all alerted on the private feed, the room, etc. The other day, AMD, and this is Trade Exchange, this is what you're going to see. But if I see something of interest, I'll let you know. Like I saw this AMD news coming out at 7 minutes to 4, AMD coming from CNBC. Tesla is working with AMD to develop its own AI chip. So I went ahead and called this one at 13, I think it was 13.25, 13:30, in that area. Called it over the microphone. I said, this is great news for Tesla. They're going to be working, great news for AMD. They're going to be working with Tesla. It's from CNBC, so that's a reliable news source. And you see the big pop that we got here in AMD. So that was a beautiful trade. That was on Wednesday, actually, the day of the FOMC meeting. And we are having a pretty quiet day, and then all of a sudden we had this AMD trade, and we got almost, what was that, 70, 80 cents on that move for AMD. So we use not only we use scans from Trade Ideas, but we also have audio news, and we also have the news in the room from Trade Exchange, where you can actually see it. So that's something that a lot of rooms don't offer you. All right, another swing trade that I did was this SGMS. 36.85 was the entry, and you see the pop here. Went all the way up to about $44 per share on SGMS. So great trade, great swing trade on SGMS. All right, once again, here's the screen share. You're going to see all different types of scans for the room. You're going to see my charts, and you'll have access to my Trade Ideas scans to view them on the screen share in the Omnovia room. And then you're going to see the news put into the room with Trade Exchange also. And don't forget, I'm using the mic to make calls, and you're also going to hear audio news from the Trade Exchange in your speakers. All right, so once again, what the service offers. It offers screen sharing and alerts, 7+ hours of education, real-time audio level watch alerts, access to my private feed. You get daily market prep. Make sure you have a Twitter account, live charting, technical analysis, education and instructions, live day trading and swing trading, live news audio, community of traders, live and interactive chat room powered by Omnovia, a week ahead market discussion, first access to videos. The room opens every day, screen sharing 6:15 a.m. Monday through Friday, but on Friday we shut it down at 7 p.m. and also we are open till 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. All right, so that's what we give you for the room. All right, once again, you can go to zozostockwatch.com and you can hit the join me. But for the webinar participants, we do have a special coupon that we're going to be giving you to save money on the webinar. So thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions, I'll take questions now. I'm here to help, and I want you to definitely feel comfortable about joining the service. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll take your questions now. And yes, there will be a recording of this webinar, okay? So come swing trade with me, come day trade with me, come learn with me, become a focused, disciplined trader, and do focused, disciplined trading. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the webinar.